Listen, man, yesterday I was gonna make this video. I'ma still make the video regardless. I got up a little early, ate a couple things, but let me just make this video real quick. First and foremost, let me explain to you about the reason of value. This is the reason of this video. And in this video, I'm gonna be speaking to it. Well, I gotta go take a shower, but I'm not gonna do it on the camera this time. But I'm gonna be speaking to India. I had to make another channel from White is Gold. You know me, Raffle and Job, but White is Gold. But I have to honor the reasons of certain things. So me having the privilege of doing certain things, and I'm just gonna take a shower real quick. But after I make this video, and I'm gonna do it in private because I'm not gonna be taking no showers on videos because how the camera violated me yesterday. So it's not really violation, but well, it was violation, but it violated me, and I wasn't able to inform you about everything that I was already speaking about a certain type of way. So. Pardon me, I gotta wash my face. And then also go to the shower. Waking up this morning, feeling wonderfully fresh, so that means you like this soap, right? Pearl soap, right? You like this, right? Just need to wash my face, and then I'll explain everything that I wanted to explain to you. Concerning value and the value PlANeTs. And this video was really for India. But India and the value PlANeTs, and for Asians, indigenous people, and certain Latin people, or some known as Latino people. Let me explain something to you concerning value. Value is the most important thing in all existence in life. Value is the really most important in all existence in life, right? Now, I wanted to educate you on real situations. Now, I'm gonna call my wife. Now, let me explain something to you concerning value right before I go take my shower and stuff, right? Now, let me explain part of me for everything, but somebody was in the pyramid before doing something, and then I woke up with a scar by my nose. I was watching something on the pyramids, and every time that happens, I end up with like a little scar on my nose or something happens a certain type of way where I want it to stop happening, so this won't appear on my nose a certain type of way at the time. But anyway, listen, let me explain something to you about. I'm the real Ra. Let me explain. Let me also let you know. I'm the real Ra, the real Orion, the real Osiris, the real Orion, also known. Let me explain something to you about certain things concerning value. Now, I'm gonna be real with you when it comes to value and it comes to certain things in life. Let me explain how important certain situations are for one's habitation so one would know how real situation is. If a person, say for instance, all right, look at India. India was once the leading world economic. India was once the leading world economic guidance when it came to nourishment, fulfillment of enrichment and wealth, because everybody at a point in time of a certain majority of high education, a certain type of way, according to this planet history, after it was reconstructed for one's habitation after the War of the Fist, you know, everybody was learning a certain point of reality, and it was towards like Asia's region and African region, but also it was in the Indian region. So India was known as the leading guidance of the social economic marketing of world currency of nourishment, of the guidance of nourishment, even when it comes to even income and value, because of certain nourishment and trading that was going on at the time. But listen to this: every astrological tree has a nourishment astrological tree, and then also has a a, a point of nourishment, even of value of the physical reality, a certain type of way that is sacred, that is kept away from the certain social economic beings according to their calendar, and for the high sacredcy according to the real empress of the astrological body, that is the astrological, also super, also mega, also quantum, also highest, and also beyond highest. So to link into their solar system, their galaxy, or the universe, or the reason of reflection of the hum, the humanity, hyenity, or the humane condition of one's habitation, of literally of anatomy and matter, for refinement of one's enrichment and nourishment for one's social social habitation, of one's social economics, for one's matter, and increase of one's higher consciousness when it comes to natural economics of equality, enriching of one's me- mental and meaning metaphysics to the higher being of oneself, even dealing with mythology. Now, let me explain something to you because we're speaking English, so I'm gonna just explain to you a certain type of way. So, I'm gonna just tell you just like this. Now, say for instance, at a point in time, India was the leading point of the economic equality, even of nourishment, and even when it came to value, because a person has to have value. So it was a lot of value traded to India for certain nourishment, according to individuals knowing their the etiquette when it came to their habitation of their natural physics a certain type of way. Now, say for instance, India is more traditional a certain type of way. So you have individuals that went out in scientifical, me being delicate, view, viewing the cautious reality of other individuals uh, that's around my social economics. So the delicacy and delicate of me having to, how can I say this, instruct for obstruction for one's orientation of one's habitation. Has to view one's social gathering that causes either a, um, economic enrichment or wealth for the future, equality of etiquette and education, or one's causing of cautiousness or civil civil being in one's social economics. So now I'm gonna just be real. If you have individuals that go out and say they learned a form of physics, because you see me, I'm refining in real gold, but also other high elements that other people will never know the precise. No matter what the situation is, the astrological empress won't risk her own habitation of her life, or any of the empresses, or any element light or jewel, or any empresses of the element light or jewel, of the reason of the refinement and regard, won't risk the reality of them people knowing their precise um physics to their light, so they won't jeopardize the reason of the harmonical frequency of the earth, and for them to live on for a longer, higher point of time than the natural habitation that is the continuance of one's humane existence, or humane existence, or humanity existence, or humanity's existence of one's social economics. So I'm gonna just say like this. Say for instance, you had individuals that studied physics and they studied a form of um, metaphysics and mythology, and they learned individuals being of value. Now you gotta remember, I was already hurt in this movie called Boogie Night because of it educating one's social economics and saving individuals a certain type of way when it came to their habitation, so I wouldn't have to go through it a certain type of way in a paradigm of time, because of the things that happened in the past, even leading up to physics, because of a point of reflection and regardment, even when it came to the natural. I'm the real John the Baptist, also known as Sir Lancelot. But I'm gonna just say just like this, I'm the real Joseph and also the real Moses. So I'm just gonna tell you either way you look at it, no matter what the situation is, and I'm the wisest man that ever regarded or even had points of value for one's social, the reason of the force of the enrichment of one's social economics. So even for individuals' habitation, even at the time. But say, for instance, you had individuals that learned a point of mythology and physics when it came to certain social economic governing groups in the physical reality that said they rather go around giving people comas, because they learn, if a person is going to go to value of equality, they feel value is everything when it gets to the future, even for the natural nourishment. A person, you have people that already lived like cannibals that didn't understand the reasons of the physics and the physical reality to know the difference, even when it came to the guidance of their life, because a person of value, or a person of of natural nourishment, of reasoning, of having value, is a person that guides you to what you need precisely at a point of time, according to the precise habitation for your for the honesty of one's reality, of the reason of one's higher consciousness of light, and light is all of purity. So if a person tries to cheat somebody out of the light, is causing a stumbling, and it would cause a stumbling, or it would cause how can I say this, a distortion in one's reality. So one would have to literally correct the situation for others could acknowledge, to know the difference according to their perception, to their um, reason of receptiveness when it came to the visual and physical, uh, social, economics, when it came to one's environment of anatomy and matter. So I'm gonna just tell you just like this, because we're on the celestial earth and you're dealing with cellular activity, the lowest form of DNA. I'm gonna have to warn you, the lowest form of DNA that I make is celestial. So I literally make planet Earth, or enrich the habitation, and I'm the only one at an all-star base. So I enrich the habitation of individuals' physics for the nourishment of their higher conscience, of the reason of the continuance of me and their empress love in the physical reality. Now I look different when you really view me. At times you'll be able to tell I look literally different in the physical reality, but I humbled myself because I was recovering, and also I was refining in gold because I'm the real Ra, the real Osiris. So 3 days later I will be refining in gold, so individuals will know who I am, because of the traumatic experiences I already faced, that already had to play out in the physical reality for one's acknowledgement, even for visual view, even if one thought it was virtual, but really visual, and the real physical reality, even at a point of time in a time sequence, according to your starlight, to the astrological calendars and constellations and sacred zodiacs of me being here at this habitation and refining, so you can know the point of existence while I'm recovering a certain type of way, why I'm here on this earth, because I saved the Superman planet, the Mega Man planet, the quantum planets, and the highest planets, and the astrological celestial planets, and it pinpointed me to this location on this earth. So learning a point of your history that was ancient times, and also a long time ago, where some people would have thought it was being forgotten, to refresh and revive the reality of one's physics and habitation of one's conscience, to bring back the enrichment of the reason for you can know the reason of your dignity, the reason of your habitation, your social economics, also meaning solar, your solar system, your astrological empress, your celestial empress, your celestial empress, and the earth empress of the inner celestial empress, and points of enlightenment, of refinement and enrichment, and loving matrimony of the times of love, for one can really have a cleansing and a strengthening when it comes to one's natural social economics and habitation, for the honor of one's dignity and the reason of one's being, of continuance of the physical reality, so people wouldn't feel like they're here for without any reason, that they'll be here, they would know that they're here for a reason, and and would be you would see the manifestation and learn the higher conscience of the upliftment of one's physical reality at a point of endurance, and of one's, how can I say this, one's receptiveness, even when it comes to the natural telekinetic sequencing of one's natural habitation of the universal laws, or laws of attraction. So, I would literally, I'm here at a point in time because I got shot in a certain time. I was hurt in a long time ago, a certain type of way. So it played out in sequences of light and physics, in a physical reality, as I transported myself of guidance throughout times, because as I'm still here, I'm still working in the paradigm on higher realities, but it is not the same, because I already set the future, but I'm physically here recovering from everything that happened, from even the ancient past, the ancient past, certain precise presence of all futures. And here, in this point, exactly precise time, in this present time of the physical reality. So if there, say there was an empress that wasn't getting along with me, and she went and lied, say she goes and lied to people, and she says, "Well, I'm gonna go back in the past and save your life, so you wouldn't be hurt." That's a lie, because that's a chick that knows that I realized certain things that she did that caused all the traumatic experience. Because remember, empress is the one that carries she carries um the celestial cellular structure even within the earth. So her habitation is a natural earth. So if she did wrong and made the wrong judgment calls to her to the inner points of her habitation, because I do golden body, martial arts, iron body, so and a jewel body of refinement. So if she did wrong a certain type of way in a high pitched frequency, also if she did wrong in a certain type of way in a physical reality, I would acknowledge and know. And then if she tried to say she wanted to fight for her power, there would be no fighting for her power, because everybody would have to realize what's really going on with her. Because it's like you would see even points of reflection, even in history, um, tormented reactions of the mentality of the empress, and that would cause Salem, that caused certain other type of forms of reflection because of the wrongdoing, or making people cause the wrong stumbling to their social economics because of the wrong habitation that was habitated within her natural habits in the physical reality when it came to her physical or social economics of her of her literal being and continuance of her purity and purity of her legacy and lineage according to her planets to the crown empress. So now, if she ever said that she was going to go back in time trying to save me, that would be a lie, because that would be an empress that's just literally manipulating the physical reality, that probably had a boyfriend and doesn't want to be blamed and wanted to cause deterioration to other people. And then you have empresses that individuals, while they're learning magic, probably spoke a form of language that they didn't know a certain type of way, that thought they did know, and they might have said something that would have offset the situation, that would have let go a certain type of empresses that was supposed to be this gone for the humane condition could have got to the future. So I'm gonna just be real. If you have if you had that empress doing that, it would cause me to literally come to identify myself in this present time, to literally be here and provide you the literal physics, evidence, and science of even showing you the reality and explaining to you for one's natural receptiveness of one's acknowledgement, to be able to receive the higher quality of the enliftment of even enriching matter of the reason of the mythology or metaphysics of the one's higher being when it came to one's natural habitation. Now, I'm just gonna be real. Say you have individuals, for instance, that says, okay, I'm recovering in precise sequencing according to a starlight position and according to the stars of their gathering at a point of time, because I'm the leading point of all physics. So they have to be here at a time to set a certain type of way, or they will fall. Or literally, if individuals already went off and broke their oath or of their light, or the star beings of the zodiacs, they had wild emotions that wanted to do the wrong thing, it would cause them to collapse and fall wherever they were at the time. And it wouldn't be my fault. It was because the fact is them not understanding the reason of their dignity and who the continuance of the reason of their love, and wanted to be more than their conscience, that made their physical reality, dishonoring their own conscience and light, that would have caused distortion and confusion in their own habitation, that would have caused them to be wild, and you would have seen certain things going on that wasn't loving or kind or enriching to the natural reality. And then if they would have manipulated it and said it was discipline, you would have been wondering, was it a taskmaster, or a person that was being how can I say this, a form of belligerent, brutal, or a person that is that literally causes um, stress in one's physics of one's habitation and causing uncomfortability because individuals, even if individuals, even that is of a happy behavioral reality, and then you will notice the greed and the gluttony of their natural habitation coming up with excuses that will cause deterioration, disfiguration, demoralization, or cause uncomfortable views and demeanors when it came to other people's habitation of the physical reality at the time. And then on top of it, then you would notice why situations are happening in certain type of ways. But say for instance, now I'm gonna speak to you about value. Now, say for instance, because I was speaking to you about the pyramid. So say for instance, you have individuals at a time that literally go out and say, I'm gonna go headbust the elder stars of the high, because the star beings are the reason of the regard of one's higher consciousness and the regard of the habitation of the earth. To if something goes wrong, to even be able at a celestial point to of the celestial axis at a celestial point to be able to retrieve and stop the higher point of metaphysics and physics of the habitation, to be able to regard the humane beings of the humane structure. This is why you have like comic book heroes, and then you have villains, that's being done away with, and then you have superheroes, and then you have people that's looked upon as honor and the reason of dignity and the higher conscience that regards more social economics and habitation according of the continuance of me and my wife's legacy and lineage. Then you would have the gods, and then it's more than you would have the gods, the Star Lords, and because there's the regard, then there's then is the kings, and then is the gods, then is the certain Star Lords, the majesties, and then the magi's, and then the magi majesty is me. So it's just letting you know even the natural order of the physics of the physical reality when it comes to one's orientation and matter. But if you have individuals that go out and say, for instance, they say, I'm gonna go head bust individuals that don't know that is the natural element of refinement, of enriching, of the reason of glory, or the glorious events that happened through time that was enriched in their habitation naturally, that wasn't uplifted at the time because of certain things that happened. So it was like individuals that entered a cycle that was hidden a certain type of way for the habitation, for one day, for their recovery, for they would be able to survive in the physical and be able to recover the ways they were supposed to recover, even when it came to the physical reality. So you would have individuals, say you have individuals that go out in science and say, I'm gonna go not show these people in certain social economics the reason of their higher conscience, and I'm gonna go pickpocket them and headbust them and make them feel like they're nothing, and then cause them and then rob them physically, emotionally, and nourishingly, and then cause the end of their habitation. That's like committing the genocide. So if you have people that's doing that, that means they're targeting individuals of value, natural habitation, and then also they're targeting the value planets and solar system and galaxy. Now, if a person is doing this, that means there's people cutting deals for their soul. Now, when things like that happen, that means they're saying the value planet doesn't have no elder conscience, so you could do away with the value planet and do away with their natural habitation, and then cause a genocide, and then cause the devaluing and diminishing and causing the ignorance or negligence of the physical reality. Now, people that do that naturally causes upset emotions when it comes to value. So you'll have people that come out with brown skin, a certain tone, or dark brown skin, or they'll come out the depth of a jewel, or a dark skin in a reality individual, or a tone of depth of light. of a sequence of light. Now, when you have these type of people that manifest in the physical reality, because they would have to either be, nobody was supposed to be light the same complexion as me. They have to be lighter than me because I'm the borderline of all. So if they're darker than me, that means either they they did something they weren't supposed to do when it came to their natural habitation. That was a real enrichment, or they violated the sacredcy of the empress, or they might have took an oath waiting for the return of me, the emperor, and the empress to manifest. And also, then they would have, or there was somebody that deteriorated the habitation of the higher empress, or my habitation, because I'm the leading point of physics. So if I'm upset, that means the empress is going to be upset. It's going to trickle down to her physics. So the stars are going to end up in a certain type of mood, and then it's going to cause a certain reaction in certain social economic systems, and then certain things are going to play out a certain type of way that will cause the uncomfortability for individuals' physical reality and their habitation when it comes to their social comfort, to their to their so, to their natural habitation of the equality of their social economics. So one would have to be on point, because let me show you, if I'm upset, it causes a stress reality. So if the empress is stressed, if somebody, it's like, you ever seen Scorpion King Part 3? If somebody's filtering the magical realm, or Scorpion King Part 2, if somebody's filtering the magical realm or going inside of a realm, or of a reality that is of one's dimension, of one's, also could be of one's depth, but of one's dimension, because you have to be a man of real honor to really be able to go upon levels of physics, or the physical reality of one's journey or travel, even in the forms of high frequency and light, or of one's high acknowledgement, pardon me, I'm farting, or high acknowledgement of authority. So one doesn't want to cause an individual to be unsettled that will cause a foul emotion, even at a time, probably somebody viewing it that would be causing something like that, and that didn't keep a form of honor. Listen to this. Now, I'm just going to be real with you. Now, if you have individuals that causes and then does the wrong things and tries to stagnate individuals when it comes to value. Value is the most important thing in life. If somebody dishonors value, they will never have a form of value or currency in their life, because if you try to do away with value, that means you're doing away with the reason of even your habitation, of your existence, your nourishment, your currency that you were, of your quality, and also of your etiquette, of your education, of the value of your oneself, of even the physical reality and the reflections of time. Because one doesn't know how real and important value is over all existence, of even all habitation, and it's only of certain people. Because anybody else, I'm the point star, the real reason of everybody's. There's nothing new I'm the real Rod, the real Osiris. There's nothing new under the sun. All my children is always gonna be like, no matter what the situation is. I am literally the paradigm of time. So I'm just letting you know how real this is. Nobody's, not even your empress. I'm the one that gave every empress of every beyond highest, quantum, mega, super, astrological, celestial, and celestial, celestial, inner points of enlightenment of all dual stones, all solar systems, galaxies, universe, or gravity, or space, or earths of all planets or moons or suns or earths of all skies, or lightning or electricity, thunder, sense of vibration, chemistry, enrichment, even when it comes to nourishment, the habitations, and also all dual systems and elements, and also seasons of natural habitation, and also gave the empress her atmosphere. So I also made all the stars. All the stars are my literal children. Is the reason you ever heard the Moses story, the firstborn? My literal children, the star clusters, astrology, constellations, and sacred zodiacs, and also of my wives, because them together at a ceremony, they could form their reality, and I could summon my real wife to the physical reality. And then it would be a certain thing when it comes to habitation, depending on one's humility, tribute, and homage when it comes to the physical reality. So I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm just gonna be real with you, regardless of what the situation is, even in a time, in the physical reality. So I'm just gonna come forth and tell you how real situations are. I'm just gonna be real. Like if if at a time a person says they wanted to devalue individuals or making deals for their soul, that means that's a person that doesn't value their natural habitation. That's saying the value calendars or the value planets doesn't have no value, that they're gonna devalue existence, and then it would show in the social economics. You would see a deterioration when it comes to one's habitation of the naturalness of one's social economics. You would see the finances coming to a decrease, or causing a digression, or causing tragic events of social economic gathering, or individuals diminishing or devaluing or causing democracy, or because it will be a mockery of the real higher conscience. And then, individuals' mentality will be going spoiled to their physical, and then they'll probably be invading other people's natural habitation for certain forms of nourishment, because they needing a point of enrichment, and they're not getting it because I'm not refining the continuance of the legacy and lineage that would be strengthening the, the them to the higher celestial, to the celestial being, to the astrological beings, to the manifestation of the empress, for the fulfillment or the anointment of one's reality, because I'm the real John the Baptist. So the empress would be coming. It's just like making you and I honor thee, or I could do whatever she or me would want to do a certain type of way, because it's like I was supposed to be with the Pope. If a person needs a little son, you need a little bread, you need a little drink, you need a little money, you need a little this, here's a little this, and this and other certain ceremonies according to individual social, economic, astrological tree, and then it will be the enrichment. If a person tried to manipulate it when it came to the social economics, that's a person that's just causing even more deterioration in the physical reality, because they're not paying the precise tribute of acknowledgement even to the one's conscience, because I'm the beginning of your conscience and the reason of the light of the habitation that protects you even when it comes to your elements. Because if you lie to an element, it's also light. If you lie to an element, it will destroy you. This is why you learn about gunshots, you learn about stabbings, you learn about car accidents, you learn about other tragic events even when it comes to natural elements, and then you learn about habitation. You can learn about poison, and you learn about all type of things, and you learn about health, and you learn about recovery, and you learn about regardment, you learn about all these things, because you see the parallel of the reality, because you have regardment, you have workmanship, you have honor, tribute, what you would call it, a raise, all type of things, showing you the difference even in parallel realities of what one really wants to achieve in their physical reality, even in life. So if you have somebody cutting deals for their soul, that's one saying they're going to devalue the value planets, and the next thing you know, it's going to cause a raping, a plundering, a pillaging, and all type of wrong situation. Now, there's a different type, even a parallel when it comes to pillaging. Now it's a different type of situation, because now when you start devaluing the value planets, that means you saying you're doing away with the reason of the higher consciousness and your honor. That means your physical is going spoiled, and it's coming to the detrimental depth of the end, where it might cause the dark ages. And if you reach a dark age where the dark anatomy and dark matter is ruling or governing the habitation, that means you don't have to worry about any white or light anatomy ever again a certain type of way. Like, I'm not going through that again in life for individuals. I'll be leaving this planet then. Because you want to know why? That means you did so much wrong. The leading people of the light anatomy must have did so much wrong at a time that caused individuals vengefulness, fierceness, traumaticness, tragedy, and certain things that would have manifested in the physical reality, that would have been ready to punish individuals in the physical, that would have caused the end of individuals, of their physical and their physical reality. And then if the dark ages manifest, that means they already were here last time because of individuals wrongdoing and wasting the time of the metaphysics and mythology of the higher respiration of the energies and forces of life, and that combated to protect individuals. That means people wasted their time and manipulated their time for physical pleasure, gluttony, or greed. That means you would have the dark anatomy that would literally come forth and do away with the white anatomy, and it would be the diminishing of the planet and of those individuals that ever caused that type of governing, and the stars that caused it would literally fall. And then all it is happening is just the dark anatomy trying to find the individuals that caused it, the points of the ignorance that caused the negligence through time that would be hunted by dark, matted individuals, and it would be the end of the world. Now, it wouldn't be because of me, because I lived amongst the individuals of the Dark Ages and brought back all white anatomy of the purity. And then I raised the white anatomy of the purity, and then if individuals reconditioned individuals that was the reason of the first fall of the Galactical War, then it means certain individuals know who those individuals are by now, and then they're going to be hunted throughout certain times, and it's going to cause the Dark Ages, and then the white anatomy of this planet is just going to be forgotten about, because another individual is going to go live, and then that means, if that's happening, that means they're going to go after the value planners. So if a person is devaluing the physical reality when it comes to value, that means they're going after the value of their consciousness a certain type of way, because if there's somebody trying to get to a future or causing a wrongful event in the future that fucked up people's finances, nourishment, and habitation, and that tried to break order of the natural setting of the future, and then causing deterioration at all levels, and just because they're trying to live a form of pleasure. That would be like the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, or the movie Pre-Crime, where individuals tried to cover up a crime, like a certain type of way that you would have, like, you see how I've been struggling with sandwich chips, trying to keep everybody on point, explaining everything that was going on in their life, so they could realize in certain reflection points of reality, so individuals would be able to counteract the event, for the white anatomy could be enriched and live and go on to the future. But if you have individuals trying to cut the reason of the habitation of me, showing you the education, because the greed of the physical habitation of the individual's continuance of the wrong pressurization of the vibrational current of the physical reality that formed ignorance and negligence, and then on top of it is gonna transpire a certain type of event when it comes to somebody's awakening. At certain points, they're going to realize what was going on, and they're going to go diminish the individuals that caused their pain and hurt through the acknowledgement of time, and they're going to be rightfully right in a dark anatomy's eyes, because the depth of one's fierceness and anger of your space empress is already upset of what individuals did. So it's going to cause the disciplinary action of the physical reality that is going to be detrimental to individuals at a social, economic, solar system points of access of the physical reality. So once that starts happening, that has nothing to do with me. Now, I'm just going to raise up. You can't stop me from, because once you try to stop me from raising, it would literally cause certain star beings to come down that was already waiting to finish individuals at a certain point of reality, and they're not going to come. They're not going to come down on a humble form. They're going to come down. How can I say this? Strategize, because it's going to be a stratus of beyond a flurry of individuals that's going to come here and it's going to run rampant, but they're going to make sure that I'm out for this planet first, because they're going to murder and pillage the natural existence of this habitation. And then on top of it, they're going to do it with the dark anatomy of certain individuals, because the individuals' ignorance that cause a natural distortion on a high frequency pattern of the individual's habitation, and like that and boogeyman. So it will tell you the cellular structure that's even coming in a recycle of reconditioning of all, nothing on you under the sun, all mine. So if other people be reconditioning my love, that means they've been causing a divorce. So that means other people was causing them to cause a divorce. They were sending people here to this private economic system while I was healing here. Because I was healing, refining, covering in real purity in the habitation for individuals' recovery, for even for the magic and the mythology for individuals could have been raised back up and go back to the high points of existence. So if a person been going after my economics, they've been, like the time continuum. So if a person been going after my economics, you ever seen the time continuum, the television show? In real life. Now, if a person been going after my, Oz, Dr. Oz, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Back to the Future, Transformers. So if even down to the Flintstone era, I'm not gonna say nothing about Petty. Betty be wondering if I just came right through a certain type of way, and then she's scared because of what I taught her naturally. So then on top of it, she knows what I taught in the other individuals a certain type of way, and then on top of it, she knows I poured it. So you would see certain things preparing for your receptiveness to realize the reason of the higher conscience. Just like you ever seen the movie The Jumper? And then other type of situations to let you know how real it is. And I'm the real Houdini. I'm the one that educated murder. Now, I'm going to show you how real this is. Now, if you have individuals literally at a point of time they're saying that they're going to devalue the value planet, that means you had individuals that was going after the real Aztec, Mayan, Incas, Asia Minor, and other individuals that need not to be spoken about through time that wasn't lizard beings, because that means the reptilian people would be wanting to go bare. That means because the current vibration would cause them to want to be butt naked, and then causing tragic events when it comes to the receptiveness of one's astrological being to one's different social economics, that will cause one nakedness, that will cause diseases in the physical reality, because they have been receiving the wrong current vibration or enrichment through the wrong individuals on a habitation point of an axis as a star, because this planet is also a star. So stars reflect at certain points of reality for their own habitation because they have their own planets. And just like I have my own private economic system, that means somebody was trying to take advantage of my consciousness, taking advantage of the Empress, and it was causing the end of space. Empress on the higher levels that nobody's not going to speak about, because there's nothing to speak about when an individual's losing their reality, and then they're going to be reconditioned to an individual that's already causing digression, deterioration, or diseases, or demoralizing one physical reality, so they will never be able to pick back up, because that means they will be lost in time, because a star being also is a light that's been shining for such an amount of long of time. That means they will be lost in the paradigm, and I'm the beginning of the paradigm, and that means they would have to get to me. If they don't get to me a certain type of way in their habitation, it will be the end of their physical reality and condition, and they won't have to worry about existence ever again in life. Real science, real physics. So then, I'm just going to show you how real this is, because I am the real rock. So I'm going to tell you how real this is. That means individuals in the value planet, that means people will be starting to turn brown skinned. Then you have brown skinned people on the value planet, because the value planets have also planets. So you have certain families. I'm going to say, I'm a person, I'm always in, you could try me, the trifecta, I'm the Triple Crown Emperor, but you know me, I'm the reason of the I. And I'm the father, I'm the son, and I'm the reason, the man. I'm the man of honor. And what I tell you it is, because I'm studying that also. And you don't even understand those physics yet. What I tell you, that's what happens, and there's nothing else to say about it. Now, I'm going to just show you just like this. Now, that means you would have individuals tripping. I don't stutter step. So I'm just gonna be real with you. You have individuals tripping a certain type of way in a physical reality, and then on top of it, you would wonder about situations in life, and then at a degree point, it would be bad, because you would have certain families of value going through their own planet, And then just because they have other planets of schooling, and then they have their planets of their natural regard, that regards the reason of their empress and their education, and that doesn't care about the gender because certain things that happened during the Galactical War and the greed and gluttony of individuals, then you would have individuals that's a dark skin on the depth. You'd have individuals on planets that was causing deterioration that they'll be trading off. Then you would have the purity of the planets. Listen, man. Another person, they said there's 100 ways to die. A person said 99, 93, all type of, listen, you would have individuals a certain type of way. You have black-skinned individuals on planets. You have brown-skinned individuals on planets. You would have a mixture of brown-skinned, black-skinned people. Then you would have the planets of the purity that wonder how many ways to die if you're reflecting and thinking about it. And then you would have light-skinned, black-skinned, and brown-skinned people living in the planet, molding and causing deterioration on a higher level on their reality that will cause their discomfort, and then they would literally cry for help because now you have the deterioration of the toxic reality of the value itself forming a certain type of way. That would be the cursing. That would be the defecation of your magic, the deterioration of your anatomy, your bone structure, all type of things that would be on that planet of the light-skinned, black-skinned, brown-skinned people, especially on the brown-skinned planets. And then it will cause, and then you have people trying to trade them off little by little bit, and their education is already on a natural level. It's just like sequencing. You ever heard a certain tone sequencing of a pitch? And it causes a certain type of harmonical sequencing vibration. Same thing in the physical reality. So it's just like when a person speaks, you're going to hear certain sequencing of certain things that they're saying, and it's going to be causing uncomfortability or ignorance of other individuals in the physical reality. And what they would have to be doing is getting you back to the purity of the existence, of the intensity, of the refinement, of the clarity, of the light, of even refinement, regardment, and of the high purity. Because a person said, why you say purity? Because the natural structure, so it would be purity, it would be an R. So it would be a 1 to the foundation, up to the celestial inner being, to the outer celestial being. And then the reason of the rise of the I, so it would be the R. It wouldn't be a person saying the U, the W, the I. The I is there. It's also purity, because if you write the E, it's with a point. So I don't even want to tell you about certain things. Now, you wonder who's speaking, huh? I'm the real priest. So now I'm telling you how real this is. So you would literally, you were listening to Pro. Too bad. You put the point with Pro. No, actually it's pre. This is why it says E, because something that would be hidden that you wouldn't expect. How you doing? So now you would be wondering about the purity at the time. And the next thing you know, you would be going, you would wonder about the picture of the sequences, and then you would hear it in certain people. So you would have people that's going around that would look at people naturally of value, and that would be wanting to just diminish people of value. It's like being pickpocketed without knowing. This is just like when I was Isaac, individual in everything in physics. So that means people would be getting pickpocketed without knowing that they were being pickpocketed, like they were doing some Mayan magic or some Aztec magic, literally, and then they will be pickpocket you without knowing. That means that you will be fucking over the Incas. Let's just break it down right now. I'm just gonna be straight up with you because I'm a man of honor, and I'm the emperor and the magi of the Incas. So you would literally be going at. That means you would be literally. That means you would be literally going. Pardon me, the air conditioner is on. I'm in another habitation. So it would show on the physics, right? So you'll be literally going after the Incas because you will be causing the demoralization and the reason of them even losing a form of and causing them to have a form of deep depth of wanting to even put their hands on an individual a certain type of way at the time. And the ones that would do it, you wouldn't even expect it. You have ones, you have those that are lenient, but then well, lenient in another way. But then you have those that aren't lenient a certain way. It's just, all right, that's what you thought. Let me just tell you something. Then come to us, and then it'd be some next type of situation. Then it's goggle balls or us. Wondering what happened, and then you'd wonder what point of the value that they be from and all type of things, and then you find out, oh my bad, you better hope it's not the wrong pitching sequence because I'm the right pitching sequence. But I'm just gonna tell you about it in the first place because I'm a man of honesty, so I'm not gonna lie to what another individual wants to do that they've been already trying to make. Yo, listen, I have individuals that have been trying to deteriorate the reason of my high equality of the way I originally was. Because every time I made an astrological tree, I was looking back to the precise purity of the astrological tree and set like this for a long time. And then when I moved to the inner point of enlightenment or the outer point of enlightenment, I was looking in that exact sequence to form even the golden body structure of the martial arts for my wife and educated at the same time. And already educated her while she was with the children and still educating her because she could have been hand to hand on the children. So if you were making her inner emotions battle with each other, causing the disease and disruptancy in her physical reality, causing the distortion because she doesn't, my wife was so nice, she didn't need distortion just to disappear on your ass and just get at you a certain type of way. Once people started saying that they were helping and they were going to do certain things, those were empresses losing their habitation to their inner self, to their losing themselves to their emotion. That was going to be a turtle that was about to get their head pushed in, or like a snake that exposed them that was trying to murder the turtle. And they didn't want the covering because it was already, how can I say this, vindictive vein that already been spoiled and just didn't care about the natural habitation. It just wanted to be on a prehistoric reality. It just didn't care what it devoured. It would be prehistoric, not prehistoric. Prehistoric, you would have to be able to read and know the difference of the physical reality to have time to read. A snake would notice that's a turtle. I don't need to attack another turtle that could just disappear. If it keeps striking the turtle, that means the snake would be already wrong. So what does that tell me? So it wouldn't have nothing to do with me. It would be other. It's just like going on my sequencing on my cell phone, and then me going through the channel because other people's around, or the foul mentality of them trying to dismantle or to disarm my situation or causing discomfort in my physical reality in the harmonical frequency of them trying to even manipulate the unity of other individuals at a time that would be causing a higher digression. So you would have a person. It's just like what this guy built. That there was a kid I met here. I spoke about this on YouTube that had channel cut because it violated my privacy when I was going to the shower because last time I made a video before that, it didn't show my privacy. And then I stationed in the same position, and then when I looked at the camera, it wasn't showing my privacy at one point. And then next thing you know, when I started taking off certain things, the camera lens angled itself a certain type of way. That means somebody was watching me a certain type of way, and then they did certain things. But when they were doing that, they were trying to see the receptiveness if I was going to notice and just go in the shower. But when I noticed, I already tried to cover up. But then by then, it caused individuals to do a certain type of thing. But I'm a man of honesty, and I'm a man that's paying for certain things, so another person can't tell me something. So I said, all right, they probably just wanted to discontinue a reality. So a person's gonna they're probably gonna manipulate. You probably have somebody in a digital system that's acting like me, that's going to certain levels of frequency, like on some Star Trek, and then they're picking a time sequencing when I'm not probably in the room or something to have some type of guess or something to do something real quick or receptiveness in the same vicinity as me. And because I'm in a place, let me show you how real this is. see this, Bill. You know, I'm in a place that's different in my physical reality of physics. So you have different you have different realities of access points of an individual trying to even get at a person. So you would have individuals even using Reiki that would be sacrificing individuals' mentality even at a time because they wouldn't want people to notice how they were wrong and because they would just wanted to manipulate the physical reality and causing certain type of events in the physics. And now the energy of the honesty would have to realize that and still get rid of the physical of the other individual that caused it. And not speaking about me myself, I'm okay. But the irritation of the outside of the other another individual that would be causing it of the manipulation, and then you would find out. And then on top of it, you would have to check the last recording that I had that caused me to even make this recording a different type of way from one's acknowledgement because another person didn't want you to see the precise lead up to the precise acknowledgement a certain type of way of the physics and the physical reality. Now let me show you something how real certain things are, right? Now you would have to have say for instance there was the guy Bill I showed you. There was a guy here I met. He if he was Philippine, but he seemed like he was really Philippine. You know, I'm a person. I'm Taiwan, so I know what I'm speaking about. I'm also the real China, the real Asia himself, but I'm Taiwan. So he was from the Philippines. I'm the head of the astrological tree of the Philippines also, but he was from the Philippines. They say, um, but he was a curly head. You know, he was a nice guy, a certain type of way, right? And then the guy Bill fed him some food, and I said, yo, you know something? The people of the social economics was acting kind of ignorant, and I see. Remember, listen, I'm in snow. So the natural habitation is cool climate. So you would always see people wanting to be outside and hang out, but the natural vibration is not even outside the way it's supposed to be, showing you something's wrong with the social economic habitation. So me going, I always go outside when I need to go outside. Sometimes I'll go outside to run, but there's no reason for individuals to have a certain type of equality, and then the mentality of individuals is like individuals that were set a certain type of way that just didn't care, and then they would just regard it. So they're not. Those are individuals. The people that really care about my recovery is another type of way, but those individuals are individuals that are more lackadaisical, a certain type of way. But you show you the outgoing of the intensity of the reason of the anatomy of the cover, because remember this has an atmosphere. So even in atmosphere, the intensity of the covering of a certain type of way would have to be a way, but hey, we're not going to get into it. But like I was saying, right? So then you have individuals that would have to come looking for an individual that haven't, and then what caused the distortion for them not even finding or refining the astrological tree, knowing the time sequence that we're in, and then not even saying it. I don't even got to say anything because I'm not speaking. Yo, listen, I'm so nice. I'm seriously nice. You wouldn't believe how nice I am. I'm not even gonna say anything a certain type of way. So I'm just gonna show you how real this is. I do the Buddha palm and listen, I'm beyond nice. A person would say, "Oh, really?" Listen, I'm beyond nice. Beyond nice with my situation. I just don't get into it. You feel what I'm saying? Because if I wanted to, I don't get into it. And either way you look at it, I don't get into it. You think about that. So now I'm just going to show you, because even if a person is doing Reiki, right? Let me show you how real this is. Now, a person wonders about certain situations, right? I tell an individual, I say, yo, listen, man, it's A with me. But I'm going to just tell you just like this. If a person, like the guy that I met, right? The guy cooked him some food. I said, what will cause your outbreak to your physical reality that will be breaking through your anatomy at a time that of a habitation, because I don't eat meat, because every time I go to the supermarket they have nothing but pork. You're supposed to have cheese pizza and those type of things. I'm Emperor Chi, I'm Magi Chi, literal, listen, I'm the literal Magi Chi. You're supposed to have cheese pizza and everything in the physical reality. These people have half cheese, pork. I'm not gonna buy I'm not gonna buy pepperoni pizza just to throw it in the garbage to have somebody try to eat my love. If a person was dealing with pork grease, you would have to know what's really going on a certain type of way, and then you would have to go and literally go handle your situation a certain type of way, because a person was already gonna look at to get at the value of love and deform the reason of. I'm not. I don't got to tell you about the physics of the Empress and teaching you certain things, right? So now I'm just gonna show you just like this. If the guy, say for instance, the ignorance of other people's social economics, that he hangs out with, the other people don't tell him at a time, or he used to hang out with, that he holds a certain connection with them at a time, and then you have that young guy just hanging around, and then they want to devalue him. So if he goes somewhere, and it's just like a person being a part of a harmony. I'm not gonna send anybody to go test you to make sure you know something at a time. I'm gonna make sure that you know in a certain type of way that you're gonna show me that I know. But if I see you get into something real, a certain situations, I'm not gonna cause distortion in your life trying to try you like you trying to try to have it. Like it's like when people used to go to Charlotte Temple, I'm the real Buddha, the literal Buddha. So when people used to, I'm the one that came up with different type of, all type of situations. So if people used to go to Charlotte Temple and want to try to have it, I'm not going to cause people to want to come try me a certain type of way at a time just to show somebody that I know something, and then cause my own discomfort in the physical reality. I don't confuse myself. I make myself comfortability. When I had to go discipline situations because of other individuals, it's something else, but I didn't tell individuals to go cause certain things. So once I know an individual cause something, there's nothing else to say, because I'm a person that's perfect. I'm the natural habitation. I'm the habitation of all the empresses, of all the, even all the space empresses, of all the star space empresses, of all, even the crown jewels, elements, and stones. I'm the habitation of their refinement. So they're my real wives, the literal wives. I'm the only one they can really refine on. So if a person makes them uncomfortable, then I'm already know. And then it's just like an individual trying to stall for time, keep me here longer than what I was supposed to be. That means if you having hanging out with people, making them pass out, and you raping or doing fucked up things, I have a natural economic system of purity. I never told my regard to go kidnap anybody from any other planet. They just go get it because my children already gives it up. Like, yo, y'all need that. Yo, send it over there, dude. Don't let nobody else, they probably tell me, don't let nobody else, I know I need this. It caused all type of arguments, and then you have other individuals as being, that probably had the continuous habitation through time, and have been manipulated trying to do some other funny type of situations of other individuals that lied off of other social economic calendar, and because they did certain things for other people while I was recovering, my caretakers probably felt the remorse for them, and then they did certain things that's showing you that was they were still keeping their manipulation going, that was going to cause the end of the caretakers anyway. So another person wasn't even giving them a chance of the physical reality, because they was already going to fuck up their physical reality a certain type of way, and that means that my caretakers would have been manipulated. But the reason why, at a point, you're being leniency because I'm recovering, and then another person doesn't want to jeopardize the physical condition of my habitat, but they ain't no excuse, so my caretakers couldn't handle it anyway. So my caretakers, once you realize I'm at a point of physics, and then people were already doing certain things, and they were trying to continue it or certain whatever, they were supposed to eliminate that situation instantly. They're not supposed to let me recover and to get to a point and then a situation certain happening. You're supposed to eliminate it, just like what I'm warning in my wife India, because you have people that's running around that is of the lighter anatomy, that's the intensity. It's just like, if I'm going to go to war at a time, or if I'm going to correct situations at a time, I'm not going to jeopardize my consciousness or the reason of my endurance, of the reason of my sacredcy of my love, or of the vital reason of my sacredcy, of the reason of the education, and I'm not going to put it in the forefront to diminish my physical reality. Now, if you have individuals that know their habitation, that's causing that on purpose. Now, there's something else you listen to does. A person of education and equality. What do you do at the time of something like that happens? You just don't say nothing, and you just distance yourself a certain way, a certain time. A person's gonna want to. Some people might be so conniving, they might follow an individual. hopefully that will happen because they're not supposed to be a certain type of way, at a time. And if they're moving with an astrological tree or the higher star reality, all the light gotta see of the stars is that the stars are literally manipulating the physical reality and light and causing the discomfort for the elimination of the stars. That's it. Because that would be the falling. They will not only be falling, they gotta collapse. So that individuals at even a point of time of their physics, they would have, it was just like, it's like discontinued from your habitation. You wasn't around an individual at a certain time, so you're gonna pass out. You're gonna probably have people take you to a bar. They're gonna probably offer you nothing but pussy, and you pass out and fuck. You're gonna take you to a bar. You're gonna pass out. You're gonna go to sleep. All type of things are gonna happen to you that you're not gonna know about. It's like waking up with whipped cream or powder on your face, or people that didn't do something outside that you don't know about, and then they just come back and come check you like, yo, what's up, man? Y'all not get up. What happened? Yo, listen, now that kid got shot over there. Sorry to hear that. All types of situations. Oh, niggas be like, oh man, too bad. All types of situations, and then you be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that about? And then next thing you know, another person not gonna be beefing because a person that has to be regarded is gonna know naturally. They're even gonna be speaking about it in the same time and already know and not even say nothing about it because the scumbag that's setting it up is the scumbag that's gonna end up going through it instead of me. For real. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, funny situations when individuals at times. But I don't say nothing because individuals, they have foul intentions. I know what I'm speaking about. I already know. So another person thinking that they were going to do something to me has to make them stop and think. It's just like the energy of the light. Who are you regarding? A scumbag individual that was going to rob you of the reason of value? I'm value himself. Listen, I'm not only value. I'm the reason Glory's name is Glory. This is who I am. I'm the real Glory. Excellence, nice, wonderful, success, gift, swift, precise, whichever other way you want to look at it. But hey, I know my natural habitation, and you know, another person, wouldn't even. It don't even matter. I know what I'm speaking about. So the stupidity of other individuals. It's like a person that would go outside, waste their time doing something they were supposed to do anyway, and think they were doing something a certain type of way, and then the Empress look at them at the time. What? You thought you were gonna get the day they thought they were gonna follow me. Some of them not even gonna get up and not even gonna be breathing until I get back. That's how it is. Now you got to think about this. So if you were gonna go rape the value plane, that means you probably have a show, probably like let's make a deal, and then there'll probably be girls on the show getting raped, literally on live television like a gangbang you would be surprised what happens when a commercial comes on. Why is there a commercial? You'd be surprised what happened to certain people a certain type of way that want to know, that would be wanting to cut into a sequence to realize, to see something or a certain type of way real quick to see what was going on or trying to get away from situation. Listen, I don't got time for all those type of people. I don't even do something like that. So you already have a guy, if you look on my resume, you probably have a guy that's on a lineup already, probably waiting to rape girls or murder girls or just probably on some frat house or some fraternity or some lounge or some club situation or just ready just to manipulate people in their physical reality. And once that happens, you have people like that. Those are people that's going to dishonor or disregard the reason of the energy, force, the energy, the spirit, the light, and also the social habitation of the nurturement, and also the circumference of the reason of even the acknowledgement of the resuscitation, even at the time. So it doesn't make no sense to even have that person. It just you just might as well leave them there with an open door, a plop down, and visually to see. It doesn't even make no sense even for the higher regard to even. It's just like imagine people manipulating the Empress just wanting to be her kick-ass weapon all day. That wastes her time. That wants to already fuck up her refinement and every she listen. There's such on a clockwork sequencing. If she's off on a sequencing and going to get them for pussy, then they they won't do something. They'll complain. There'll be all type of situations, and then it'll be all type of complaints. They're the ones that caused that type of situation to happen in the first place, that made the uncomfortability. That's on top of it, just manipulating her, stressing her through the paradigm of time. And then on top of it, she has a planet of purity where some of them are supposed to be at, because they're not supposed to be nothing but feminine beings, or feminine beings for her refinement. So those are people that already violated her privacy. And then if she was filtering her own situation, trying to say, there will be no saving it, because another person probably knows what you're doing, and they're just probably having a meeting, speaking about a certain type of way, and then manipulating at a point to see what you're doing. And it's just like a person doing golden body, iron body, checking on their reality, and then on top of it, just don't want a person refine it, because they're knowing the time sequencing, and they're trying to waste the time for a certain time of refinement, for they could be able to get rid of their whole situation. Because probably something that happened a certain type of way at a certain time sequence, so they feel there's no the reason for regards a certain type of people, and it's going to cause the end of situations. And if you have an empress of mine that's going to cause her to sleep with other people, I'm going to get rid of her ahead of time anyway. That's it. Don't worry about it. Because, matter of fact, I plan to just leave this earth. So the natural, social, economic habitation already, I don't even want to speak about it, but I was warning India about value, and I'm warning the people of the value planet. Be careful, because a person that would already take away value is already trying to demoralize the situation. So that means every time somebody tries to cut a deal, they're risking the elder of the value planet in a certain sequence or form of reflection and light and for habitation. And all the reason why they're doing that, because they want the value. They probably want the reflection acknowledgement. They probably want a certain level of magic that probably some people don't have, like air and light and stone men. Stone men used to know about zombified people, because they used to know about destruction. They would have to watch out, because people were doing some funny magic of when it comes to respiration and reviving people. Like, air and light and stone men and the kind of era. So because one time I did something for the value planet a certain type of way when it came to resuscitation, and when it came to guidance, even of one's depth, of one's habitation, of one's parallel reality for one's regardment, or for one's acknowledgement, or one or one's or one's or one's regard for comfort, even a certain type of way. So if you had people learning in that, like Aaron Light, the calendar of eras missing that magic. The value calendar was also the eighth, or part of the eighth calendar. The value calendar was also above the calendar. I don't even want to speak about it. And then you had the natural planets, and then on top of it, if a person was going after value, they were going after the ninja planets. Through a time for sacredcy, they'll be going after the value planets, because they'll be going after certain type of forms of education. That means you would have individuals that would be manipulating the families of value, trying to marry into the families, causing discomfort all in the sequencing of their habitation, trying to learn about their anatomy. And then on top of it, they would be trying to zombify the value individuals, because they would be wanting to individuals to pickpocket. They would want the value people to pickpocket each other. So in the reflection of light, if you dishonor your own value at another point of value, and you're not knowing the order of the value, then it's going to cause the deterioration of the individual's acknowledgement, and then cause it, when somebody do the wrong thing a certain type of way with value, and the value is always honesty. So when somebody do the wrong thing with a type of way with value, then they'll be diminishing the whole calendar of value down to the planet. So then that means you have raping, pillaging, then you have people that's biohazard debris, but of the real nervous system that already did wrong, manipulating the physics and then trying to get into a form of value, causing the robberies to happen in the paradigm, and everything that I've been worrying, recovering from in a sequence of reality while I'm here in the sequencing of life, trying to warn you to stop the situation from happening, because I was coming up of recovering of something that would have happened a certain type of way at a certain time in a paradigm, and trying to prevent it from happening. Preventing means to do the opposite. If a person is causing traumatic experience, I'm trying to regard the situation so it doesn't go through traumatic experience or trauma or cuts or abrasions, have cuts or abrasions, or physical opening or flesh wounds, all type of stuff like that. I'm trying to cause it to have a regard so individuals can have love, sacredcy, refinement, remorse, a quality of happiness, of sexual intimacy, of regardment, all type of situations, even for myself, even at the same time. And then on top of it, I'm the only one that's supposed to be refining on this planet. So the people that would know that I've got wounded would be taking advantage of an individual's habitation in the social economics, trying to do what? Demoralize the ninja galaxy, the magi galaxies, the majestic galaxies, the crown galaxies, the jewel galaxies, and also the regardment galaxy. And then on top of it, demoralizing the natural lights of the stars and devaluing individuals when it comes to nourishment, finances, equality, instruction, and comfort. So what does that mean? So that means I would be warring an endless battle a certain type of way, and when do I have a break for myself? And if you have individuals that did this on purpose, knowing that I was here, and then when you check in the individuals but to know that's doing it a certain type of way, they're looking other type of ways in barbaric sequencing when the light of the reflection is going to show you, and then when you look at an individual in the light himself of myself, it's a different reality, because a person says, I'm a real handsome individual. Another person, just like when YouTube wild out and tried to show my privacy, you know, I'm a real Asian man, but my secrecy is always hidden. But I'm not a person that has to rely on my privacy. I'm a long-lengthed individual, but you won't be able to tell unless I'm just aroused a certain type of way. If I'm not aroused, you're not gonna be happy with the situation, because it's gonna think you'll probably already think about it and be like, whatever. And then you have chicks that already had sex that already been trying to get at me a certain type of way, that people were even fearful of me having sex, because the physical is I could turn. Look at this. I turn the individual on naturally. So, another person wants to lie about something. And then on top of it, you have people at their point of light and reflection that have been trying to use the energy of their social economics to try to stagnate what I do a certain type of way. Now, once you see people do something like that, I'm the real reason of the love galaxy. don't even say nothing because they just hurt their empress. Now, I'm gonna divorce the empress just because of that reason in another level of physics, and they're never gonna be able to refine it because it was a person in another room that's using bills at the time, and I hear them in another room. And you have another individual over there doing the same thing. Hey, I don't care. Another person says, you know, I'm the reason of the refinement of the Cupid that turns individuals on. Now, a person says it's too much for them. Well, I'm the real magi of the space force and energy itself. I turn everybody on in a certain type of way. So it's just like, what you think is too much. So you're not supposed to be around me when I'm supposed. That means if I'm supposed to have a fulfillment a certain type of way, is my fulfillment. That's for me to fulfill. It's for me, Rafael Angel to fulfill, not nobody else. But if another person tried that, that's a person. You probably already had people on my sequencing that was already going to try to rape girls. I was going to fuck up their reality anyway. It's just like a person devaluing value. You have an ugly nigga probably somewhere else, looking like a little savage, and then you're just trying to get away with it because you have individuals. I'm sorry to say this. I'm just being honest. You have individuals like Bill and other individuals in the social economics that's already mad at a natural habitation that just wanted to devalue anybody anyway. Because those are individuals that wanted to be more than their consciousness. It's just like having sex and trying to be better than the individual that made you in the habitation wanted to, my empress to really be with them, and then they having sex and then causing the mentality is already causing distortion in the empress that's demoralizing her at the same time, causing her to lower her standard to even be with an individual that has. I'm a natural soulmate. That means they'll be getting rid of the situations of a certain type of way. So me, I'm. I know what I'm feeling. And so, like I said, for all the feminine and feminine beings in the value galaxy, don't end up stupid and raped and broke just because if I didn't recover, it's just like a chick trying to vote to be a sleeping partner with you. You do something like that and it's not natural, then you don't deserve to. You deserve to sleep with whoever's gonna rape you at a time because it means the person that's supposed to really be with me naturally for the higher quality of the reason of my comfort, you cheated them out the reality and made me just. It don't make me discomfortable. I'm supposed to have the high reality of quality to just get what I need naturally. I already came up with social economic ideas that other individuals didn't want people to know. If you look on Ralph Lauren Jr. White is Gold on YouTube, you're gonna see everything I'm speaking about. So you think about it like that. That's just how real it is. Look at that YouTube regimen, and that's literally me, but it's because of what happened in the bathroom. Then you wonder about situation. I don't gotta tell you. You can think whatever you want to think about me. Another person, you know. Anyway, I'm going to go take my shower, but I'll show you how this is down to even the course. I am also a man of the course because a man says I'm the Greek himself, so I'm Rome himself, the real Rome himself. I hope you listen to White is Gold that night, Christmas night, and you better hear that video when I was outside. It was, it was so real. It was Twitter, going income. But, you know, I don't even sleep with this shit no more on because I was going to sleep with it on, and then I woke up with this little mark on my nose. So I'm like, oh nah. So why that nigga would do something like that? Why? Do you see what you're looking at where I wash my face? Do you see what the fuck I'm wearing? And I just thought about that to tell you just now. You know who the fuck I am, right? You listen, the real himself. The real Ra, the real Osiris, Tutankhamun himself, bro. Horus. Tut. How you doing? It's all me. Another person said, what are you talking? Oh, really? Each of my children had a regiment, like a fraternity. They had to go to school to know the reason of their dignity and signature. Even when they built the pyramid, I already built planets and worlds and other pyramids for them to even know how to build the pyramid. When I built the pyramid, after constructing and showing them how to build it and make sure certain things are sacred, that, you know, when they thought they were doing something, I'm the one that really did it. So when they fuck up their habitation, they fucking up their habitation down to the core of their consciousness that really gave them the reason of their protection. So when they were like, oh no, I did it because my mom, I'm the one that educated your fucking mother that was the astrological empress, even in the fucking craft. So you go ask her for her ignorant ass and then wonder why I'm not in Egypt and Africa at a time. Fucking assholes. And then they wonder about all type of situations. Your mom been pickpocketing me a certain type of way. Or you had triple crown empresses trying to get at me, and my wife was just sitting there quiet, just not saying nothing. Like, yo, listen. My wife is so good. She said Drake, and Brimstone niggas violated her, and I just looked at them niggas like, I just can't wait till the value calendar just come down and just want to put a whooping on niggas. And I'm the real Nimrod. And they already tried to kill the Mings, and I'm the head of the Ming calendar. So they already tried to kill the Mings. So I don't even gotta tell you nothing. It's just like, I just connect me to YouTube, please. This video stopped and it continued. I'm typing it on YouTube so you can see the resume. If you're wondering what the pink says Ralph Lane Jr. White is gold. Let's just click on it right now. All me, all literally me, literally. And then look, there was some nigga on earlier that was trying to do some funny situation. I didn't even say nothing. I just looked at it like, oh, hold on, he must be on the other channel. Because there's some. This is the other video that's from yesterday when YouTube cut it off. But this was the second. This was the one with the soap in my hand was the second video. I was just rubbing the soap in my hand. It's the same soap I wash my face with. You know, I'm the real Zeus, literally. I never been a scumbag individual that just had money or something. I was always an original individual. I never told people to follow me or any other little thing or nothing like that. So I'm just telling you how real it is. You know, or if you want to know physics, if you want to know real mythology and mathematical sequencing, you look at this. The liftment of the higher conscience, so there's no excuse for one knows the reason of the regard of their own habitation, for the reality of the empress, of one's natural habitation, of one's equality, of one's education and etiquette, and of one's habitation. Listen, man, I don't want to hear nothing. This situation is just, there's just some nigga trying to limit. Hold on, I want to show you. This camera's trying to cut off on? I'm three, homeboy. Whichever way you want to look at it. And you're writing in Chinese or Japanese needs to be a little different. Well, you should look at this one also. This is the one I spoke about, the Aztecs. And the funny thing is, it was already on and I didn't, you didn't even believe it. Natural physics. You know, it's just like Alex Trevette. He locked the door, said, there's something I want to speak to you about. Not that bad, but he said something. I was looking at him like, oh, I'm the real value that educated. Whichever, look, this is the nigga I'm speaking about right here. The nigga look like, he looked like some nigga that they want me to know. But I don't know the nigga. It looked like the television show Team is a God symbol though. Another person says, oh, you're learning finally Creole or something. Well, I'm sorry that you showed niggas the wrong type of sequencing and did some more matrix type of sequencing to people and that was messed up. But you know, hey, I'm just gonna be real. You know, I don't know who reconditioned that value a certain type of way, and then I'm gonna tell a person like this: thank you very much. Either way, any type of way, whichever whichever way you look at it, whichever way you look at it, okay. Whichever way you look at it, whichever way you look at it. But I'm gonna just also tell you just like this. Copper weather ain't nothing to me if you're speaking about rooftop road. It's so real copper weather ain't nothing to me, even Umbach ain't nothing to me. The how I real I get down a certain type of way at another time. But you don't try me because that means you're trying your consciousness and trying your empathy. So you do that already at a certain time. You you don't even have to worry. Just don't say nothing and don't even worry about what happened. Anyway, but hey man, me since I'm already going, I'm not gonna do what I did on the other day. But I'm just telling you how real situations are a certain type of way. And me, I'm going to prepare for my day of comfort. I'm not going in the shower right now a certain type of way, but I'm just showing you how real situations are. Because if one's checking their physics to their physical reality, they're noticing layers of certain things, and then look at this. Have a wonderful life, and also 106 minutes and 27 seconds. So that is 2 hours, 2 hours and 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh.